Getty. Vladimir Putin paraded new arms at March. Putin began his fourth presidential term by watching jets carrying a hypersonic missile over Red Square, including a world premiere of the Kinjal Dagger hypersonic missile carried by advanced MiG-31K interceptor jets, which can hit targets 2,000 kilometers away. The Russian show at Moscow's Red Square marked the 73rd anniversary of the Soviet Union's part in the Allied victory over Nazi Germany. The Russian president has touted the jets and missiles as "invincible" as he raises defense spending to have a military arsenal bigger and better than any other on the planet. Mr. Putin said, "We remember the tragedies of the two world wars, about the lessons of history which do not allow us to become blind. The same old ugly traits are appearing along with new threats: egoism, intolerance, aggressive nationalism and claims to exceptionalism. We understand the full seriousness of those threats." The display included Russia's Yars mobile intercontinental nuclear missile launcher, its Iskander-M ballistic missile launchers, and its advanced S-400 air defense missile system. Russia has used the S-400 air defense missile system in Syria to protect its forces. Alexei Nikolsky. Putin has angered the West in 2018. Moscow's best fifth-generation Su-57 stealth fighter has gone through testing in Syria and took part in the parade this year. The Uran-6, armed with a 30mm automatic cannon, a machine gun, anti-tank missiles and a rocket launcher, looks like something from a Hollywood film, and it was on show as an unmanned armored reconnaissance and infantry support vehicle at the parade. More than 13,000 troops, 159 weapon systems and 75 aircrafts took part in the annual May 9th parade on Red Square to celebrate the Soviets turning the tide against Hitler in World War II. Elsewhere in Russia, 55,000 troops, 1,200 weapon systems and 150 warplanes in 28 cities joined in the parade. A mural in downtown Moscow carries the Victory Day slogan, "The world that was saved remembers." At this year's event, Israeli Premier Benjamin Netanyahu was also in attendance. He is hoping to build alliances after the U.S. controversially withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal. Relations between the Kremlin and Israel have been difficult, with Vladimir Putin among Iran's chief military allies. Alexei Nikolsky. The Red Square Victory March was this week. Netanyahu will want a glimpse into Russian military capabilities as he visits Moscow this week, in order to weigh up the threat posed by his Iranian enemy. The Israel Prime Minister believed that Iran has lied about their nuclear program. But Mr. Putin and Mr. Netanyahu have enjoyed a better personal relationship than might have been imagined in recent years, with open lines of communication even amid escalating tensions between Israel and Iran. Russia suffered 26.6 million deaths during the war, dubbed the Great Patriotic War in Moscow, and that is why the annual parade is a significant moment in the national calendar. The government also promotes a grassroots initiative that sees marchers carry photographs of World War II veterans, called the Immortal Regiment. Moscow Carnegie Center expert Andrei Kolesnikov wrote, "The regime claims to be the direct successor of all Russia's glorious victories, chief among them, the defeat of Nazism in the Great Patriotic War of 1941-45, and thereby makes itself immune to criticism." Maria Zakharova, the spokeswoman for the Russian Foreign Ministry, regularly dedicates part of her briefings to chastise governments which have moved or removed Soviet-era war memorials. This is because Russia places great importance on the Great Patriotic War and the role of the Red Army in it. Mikhail Metsev. Russia paraded new warships at the march. Zakharova said, "We believe that events of this nature carry a very important message. They help preserve the objective memory of the past, of the Jewish people's tragedy, of the Red Army's contribution to stopping the death factories, the Nazi concentration camps where people of various nationalities died. It is particularly important to preserve this memory today in an atmosphere where some countries attempt to falsify history, revise the causes and results of World War II, demolish monuments erected in honor of those who gave their lives for the victory over Nazism." Mikhail Metsev. Russia wants the best military in the world. Russian relations with the West have been poor for some time, culminating in a diplomatic push to expel more than 100 Russian spies from around the world earlier this year. Britain holds Russia responsible for the poisoning of double agent Sergei Skripal at a restaurant in Salisbury, England.